So, Nigel Farage is once again throwing himself back into politics, but not British politics, because now that we are all set to leave, the European Union, Nigel Farage has instead set up his own party so that he can go and participate in the European Union elections for a chance to be an EMP again. Now, hold on. Now, just hold on for a second. Why is a guy who is so against the European Union now deciding he wants to run and be an EMP again? Well, one, because he gets a lot of money out of it, and, it'll be his personal gravy train. His Brexit party, as it's being called, has been set up and now can run. And how the European Union works, it works on proportional voting. So, it doesn't really matter if he wins, so long as he gets a certain amount of the vote, he's pretty much guaranteed to get in. And it's funny that, I keep on wanting to point this out, that you have one of the big things that Brexiteers always harp on about is the fact that these EMPs, they're just on a gravy train. They're not doing it for anything else. It's just they get a lot of money out of it. Ooh, they're on a gravy train. And yet, the Brexiteers have, UKIP in particular, have made this for years as one of their core arguing points, as has Nigel Farage. And now, Brexit is a thing, he wants to be an EMP for a different party, nevertheless. He's not going back to UKIP because, well, as I've said for the longest, couple of videos back, Nigel Farage was the lid on top of UKIP's racism. He managed to keep it, covered up. Because if you search UKIP councillor racism, you will find numerous examples of UKIP councillors who were booted off their council for, racism. In fact, that's why UKIP, the last local council election, went from 2 councillors to 1 councillor, because he was kicked off the council for racism. In fact, this is why Nigel Farage became the face of UKIP, because he couldn't trust anyone else from letting the secret out of how racist UKIP was. This is why he was always on Question Time. This is why whenever they got someone from UKIP, it was always Nigel Farage. It wasn't any of the other myriad members of UKIP that there were. It was always Nigel Farage. It's bizarre, but there you go. This is, he's such a hypocrite when he does this, and it's, it's ironic. One of the things that UKIP and Nigel Farage always claimed was that the EU needs Britain more than it needs us. Well, apparently, Nigel Farage needs the EU more than the EU needs Nigel Farage. But, there you go. That's Nigel the thirsty hypocrite, because, like many right-wingers, he's in a bit of a cash-strapped shortage at the moment. Obviously, not being the leader of UKIP and that now, and obviously not going back because, Admiral von Batten is in charge and, leading the party down continual racist fantasy avenues. The racism is no longer in the closet at UKIP now. It's a horse that's bolted through the fields. for everyone to see. You know, I don't have pretty much more to say than that, really, on that topic. But, you know, Nigel Farage is just proving how much of a hypocrite he is when he runs for this. Why not be a real man, Nigel, and run to be an MP? But, you know, Nigel won't do that.